His professional record, 39 victories, including 29 knockouts with 1 draw. From Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, the reigning, defending, undefeated WBC Super Welterweight Champion of the World, Saul Canelo
Stepped on the scale. He weighed in at an official 145 1/2 pounds. Started from the bottom now. He enters the ring. An undefeated 3-division pound-for-pound king with 33 victories. 24 of those victories coming by way of KO. The former lightweight, former undisputed super lightweight, and tonight, making the first defense of his WBO welterweight championship of the world. Born, bred, and reppin' Omaha, Nebraska, Terence Crawford.
Canelo Alvarez has not faced as educated.
Trying to come with a left up.
Lay on that left side.
Punching between punches and a flush.
We'll try to hurt him here.
Another big right hand by Canelo. The right hand leading.
The boxing world has just been rocked by the biggest bombshell of the year. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford is officially happening. But this isn't just another fight, it's a legacy-defining clash that could change the course of boxing history forever. On one side, you have Canelo, a 4-division world champion and the undisputed face of boxing. On the other, Terence Crawford, the undefeated welterweight king, boldly moving up 3 weight classes in pursuit of greatness. With so much at stake, one burning question looms: who's really taking the bigger risk? And could this showdown even outshine Canelo's legendary battle against Floyd Mayweather? Let's dive into it. Before we get started, do me a quick favor, like this video and subscribe. 98% of you watch without subscribing, and it helps the channel a ton. Done? Awesome. Let's jump right in. The stage is officially set for what could be the biggest boxing event of the decade. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford is locked in for September at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. And this isn't just another mega fight, it's a clash with historic stakes. 2 of boxing's most decorated champions are set to collide, fighting not just for belts but for their place among the sport's all-time greats. Allegiant Stadium, famous for hosting massive sporting events and concerts, can hold over 60,000 fans. It's the perfect arena for a fight of this magnitude. Las Vegas has long been the epicenter of boxing's biggest nights, and this bout carries the same kind of electric buzz that surrounded Canelo's iconic 2013 fight with Floyd Mayweather. That event shattered records, generating a staggering $150 million in revenue and pulling over 2 million pay-per-view buys. It cemented Mayweather's status as the sport's undisputed superstar and marked the only clear loss in Canelo's career. Now, more than a decade later, Canelo stands as the sport's biggest star, and Terence Crawford is aiming to do what Mayweather did, beat the Mexican icon under the brightest lights. With 2 undisputed champions from vastly different weight classes colliding, the excitement around this fight is off the charts. And the big question is, can this fight surpass Canelo versus Mayweather in revenue, global attention, and historical significance? Many boxing insiders believe it just might. When you combine a legacy-defining matchup, a pound-for-pound showdown, and the sheer audacity of Crawford's move, you get a recipe for something truly historic. Crawford's decision to move up 3 weight classes has created one of the most compelling storylines boxing has seen in years. His bold leap has captured the imagination of both hardcore fans and casual viewers. On the business side, the hype around this fight is already breaking expectations. With streaming and pay-per-view markets stronger than ever, many insiders believe this bout could rival, or even surpass, the financial milestones set by Floyd Mayweather's biggest events. Crawford's growing star power, paired with Canelo's global appeal, makes this a marketing dream. If the promotion hits, if the tickets sell out, and if the fight lives up to the hype, this could be the event that redefines the modern era of boxing. At first, Canelo wasn't interested in fighting Crawford. Facing a smaller fighter moving up 3 divisions seemed unnecessary, maybe even unfair. From Canelo's perspective, his legacy was already sealed, multiple weight classes conquered, champions from different generations defeated, the undisputed super middleweight king. Meanwhile, Crawford was dominating at 147 pounds, but the jump to 168 was enormous. In early interviews, Canelo brushed off the idea, citing the huge size difference. But something changed. The demand became undeniable. Fans were calling for it. Broadcasters saw the opportunity. Promoters saw dollar signs. And Canelo, ever the sharp businessman, recognized what was in front of him. If there's one thing he learned from his 2013 fight with Floyd Mayweather, it's that legacy fights don't just make history, they make serious money. As talks progressed, the scope of what was happening became clear. This wasn't just another title defense. It was a shot at creating something even bigger than Canelo versus Mayweather, a mega event that could break financial records in the age of global streaming. The idea of hitting $150 million in revenue and over 2 million pay-per-view buys no longer felt impossible. The vision of 2 undisputed champions from vastly different divisions clashing under boxing's brightest spotlight was a promoter's dream. And once Canelo saw the overwhelming fan interest, the media frenzy, and the historic stakes, he knew he couldn't walk away. But for Canelo, this isn't just about the money. It's about legacy. If he beats Crawford, he further cements his place as an all-time great, silencing any lingering doubts about his dominance. Another generational talent conquered, another chapter written in a legendary career. But if he loses, everything changes. Critics will question whether Canelo struggles against slick, technical fighters, the same criticisms he faced after his losses to Mayweather and Dmitry Bivol. A loss would cast a shadow over his legacy. That's why Canelo isn't just accepting the fight, he's fully embracing it. He's even gone on record saying this could be bigger than his fight with Mayweather, not just financially, but in lasting impact. For Crawford, this is about more than just moving up. It's about making one of the boldest moves in modern boxing history. Jumping from 147 to 168 pounds is no small feat, very few have done it successfully. Even the greatest champions have struggled when moving up multiple divisions. But Crawford believes his unique blend of speed, skill, and adaptability can pull off the impossible. For him, it's not about just adding another belt to his collection, it's about immortality. If Crawford beats Canelo, he won't just be a 5-division world champion, joining legends like Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Thomas Hearns. He'll have done it by defeating a dominant, naturally bigger champion at a much heavier weight. Unlike Mayweather, who carefully managed his jumps in weight, Crawford is taking a direct shot at the undisputed king of the super middleweight division. This is about more than belts or paydays, it's about legacy. It's about writing his name among the all-time greats. Crawford himself put it best, "If I win this fight, it solidifies me as an all-time great." But the ultimate question remains, will skill alone be enough? This is Terence Crawford's boldest test yet. And history tells us, even the most technically brilliant fighters often struggle when giving up size, reach, and raw strength. Crawford won't just be facing a naturally bigger man, he'll be facing a fighter with an iron chin, crushing body shots, and a relentless, walk-you-down style that has broken down even the best over 12 brutal rounds. Canelo's ability to cut off the ring and impose his physicality has frustrated world-class opponents time and time again. If Crawford can't keep him at a distance, this could quickly become a long, punishing night. Still, Crawford's confidence isn't just for show, it's built on a career of defying the odds. Over and over, he's dismantled elite fighters with surgical precision. Just look at what he did to Errol Spence Jr., a fight many thought would be 50-50ths, Crawford turned it into a one-sided masterclass that shocked the boxing world. But this is a whole different mountain to climb. Now, with the world watching, predictions are flying, debates are raging, and boxing fans are more divided than ever. Some believe Crawford's unmatched skill set will allow him to outclass Canelo. Others argue that the sheer size and power of Canelo Alvarez will simply be too much to overcome. Even the experts can't agree. Dmitry Bivol, the WBA light heavyweight champion and the last man to beat Canelo, knows better than most what it takes to pull off the upset. Yet even Bivol has serious doubts about Crawford's chances. He points to the massive weight jump, warning that Crawford might struggle to carry his power and durability into the 168-pound division. It's not just about skill, Bivol said. It's about strength, endurance, and how your body responds to a bigger weight. Bivol even suggested that Crawford should take more time to acclimate to 168 before challenging a natural super middleweight, especially someone like Canelo, who has fought as high as 175 pounds. And that brings us to the million-dollar question: can a fighter who spent most of his career between 135 and 147 pounds really survive, let alone thrive, against one of the most proven, durable champions at 168? But not everyone is doubting Crawford. Rising star Shakur Stevenson, one of boxing's brightest minds and most technically gifted fighters, believes Crawford won't just win, he'll dominate. Canelo's never faced anyone like Bud, Stevenson said. Crawford's too sharp, too smart, too slick. He even boldly predicted that Crawford would make Canelo look average. The divided experts and the calm before the storm. Some believe Terence Crawford will make easy work of Canelo Alvarez, pointing to Canelo's historical struggles against technical, defensive-minded fighters like Floyd Mayweather and Dmitry Bivol. And Shakur Stevenson's confidence isn't just hype. Throughout his career, Crawford has shown an almost supernatural ability to adapt mid-fight, figure opponents out, and dismantle them piece by piece. But even for a once-in-a-generation talent like Crawford, is this challenge simply too big? Former cruiserweight world champion and respected analyst Johnny Nelson isn't so optimistic. He fully respects Crawford's greatness at welterweight, but he believes the physical gap will be too much to overcome. Size matters. You can't ignore it, Nelson warned. He pointed out how Canelo has been systematically dismantling bigger, stronger men at 168 pounds, and he doubts that Crawford's speed and skills alone will be enough to neutralize Canelo's relentless body attacks, pressure, and knockout power. This divide among boxing's top minds shows just how monumental this fight truly is. On one hand, Crawford's brilliance, precision, and genius-level ring IQ make him a real threat to anyone, regardless of size. If anyone can defy history, it's him. But the physical reality remains: moving up 21 pounds from his original fighting weight is no joke. And standing across from him will be no ordinary opponent, it'll be Canelo Alvarez, the battle-tested king of 168 pounds, a man who has traded punches with some of the hardest hitters in the world and lived to tell the tale. But there's one more twist before we get to Crawford versus Canelo. Before Canelo can fully focus on Crawford, he's got unfinished business, a title defense against undefeated Cuban-German contender William Skull on May 3rd in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. On paper, it looks like a routine defense. But the reality? The stakes couldn't be higher. Because this isn't just about keeping his belts. It's about keeping the mega fight alive. One misstep, one off night, and everything could come crashing down. Skull, with a 20-0 record, might not have faced elite competition yet, but that's what makes him so dangerous. He has absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. And fighters like that? They often show up in the best shape of their lives, willing to risk everything for a shot at history. For Canelo, the pressure isn't just to win, it's to dominate. Anything less, and the critics will start circling, questioning if age, mileage, and complacency are finally catching up with him. Even a sluggish or sloppy performance could raise doubts: is Canelo still the king of 168? Or is his reign nearing its end? And you better believe Terence Crawford will be watching very closely. Canelo's been here before, defending titles with huge fights looming ahead, and for over a decade, he's carried the weight of boxing on his shoulders. But this time? The stakes are different. Meanwhile, Terence Crawford sits in a unique position. Some would argue that for Crawford, it's a win-win. If he loses, he dared to be great, challenging a bigger man, 3 divisions up. His reputation as a dominant welterweight champion would still be secure. But if he not only loses, and if he gets dominated, If Canelo walks through his punches, bullies him, and makes it look easy, then everything changes. The conversation around Crawford's career could shift overnight. Doubters would emerge, questioning whether he was truly as dominant as he seemed, or if he simply thrived in weight classes where he had physical advantages. Some would even question whether his undefeated record was built on beating opponents past their prime or not quite elite. And just like that, history could be rewritten. The stakes have never been higher for either man. And the world will be watching. Could a loss cause fans to rethink how great Terence Crawford really was? That's the brutal beauty of legendary matchups. They don't just crown winners, they redefine careers. Think Sugar Ray Leonard moving up to face Marvin Hagler. Think Manny Pacquiao crashing through 8 weight divisions, proving that size isn't everything. Could Crawford be next in line to shock the world? Because make no mistake, Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford isn't just another blockbuster fight. It's a battle that could alter the course of boxing history. It's the best versus the best. A fight that will either cement Canelo's dominance once and for all, or elevate Terence "Bud" Crawford to the rarest heights of greatness. If Canelo wins, he fortifies his place as the face of boxing, the undisputed king. But if Crawford pulls off the impossible, it might go down as the greatest upset in modern boxing history. So now, the question is simple: who have you got? Is this Canelo's fight to lose? Or will Terence "Bud" Crawford silence the doubters, overcome the odds, and prove once and for all that skill beats size? Drop your predictions in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button and subscribe to Boxing is Here for the latest updates, fight breakdowns, and expert analysis, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an upload.